The car world is built on promises. Promises of speed, of innovation, of the future. But sometimes those promises aren't just optimistic, they're straight up lies. These are the top 7 most overpromising cars ever made, and we're starting with a big one. The promise? An impenetrable truck with unbreakable armor glass.
You lying?
But the broken promises didn't stop there. The claim was a bulletproof exoskeleton. Turns out, it's not an exoskeleton, and it rusts. The promise was it could serve briefly as a boat. In reality, some have reportedly broken down after a simple car wash. The final insult? The advertised starting price of $39,900 became nearly $61,000. And it seats 5, not 6. But as far as overpromising goes, Tesla is just getting started. To find a true master of deception, we have to go back to the 1970s oil crisis. The promise was a miracle car for a desperate time, a futuristic three-wheeler called the Dale that got a staggering 70 miles per gallon. In an era of gas-guzzling land yachts, this was revolutionary. The public went wild, throwing money at the charismatic founder, Elizabeth Carmichael. There was just one tiny problem. The car was a scam. The prototypes were mostly empty shells with lawnmower engines, and the company was a front to steal investor money. The biggest lie? The founder, Elizabeth Carmichael, was actually a wanted con man named Jerry Dean Michael. The only thing the Dale ever produced was a 4-part HBO documentary about the scam. Okay, so a con artist lying is one thing. But what happens when one of the most respected brands in the world promises an all-new hypercar and just gives you a remix? This is the successor to the legendary Chiron. Bugatti swore it was all new from the ground up. Except it's not. Car enthusiasts immediately noticed it was a parts bin special. The wider horseshoe grille, ripped straight from the Mistral. The C-shaped side profile, a blend of the Devo and the original Chiron. The rear light bar and exhaust, we've seen those on the Bolide and Chiron Afore too. It's a stunning car, no doubt. But all new? It looks more like Bugatti hit shuffle on their greatest hits playlist. But lying about being all new is nothing compared to our next car, which promised 5,000 horsepower. Unveiled in 2013, the Devil 16 was a mythical beast. A quad-turbo V16 engine making a claimed 5,000 horsepower, a top speed of over 340 miles per hour, and styling that looked like a stealth bomber. Everyone laughed. It was impossible. Then a video surfaced of the engine on a dyno built by legendary drag racing engine builder Steve Morris. It was real. So where is it? Well, a decade later, one production car exists. It was sold to a customer with a V8 engine, because apparently the customer preferred it, and no gearbox in the world can actually handle the 5,000 horsepower from the V16 on the street. So the promise of a 5,000 horsepower hypercar remains just that, a promise. But the #1 most overpromising car of all time wasn't just a broken promise, it was a sinister plot that tricked an entire nation. Before it was the friendly VW Beetle, it was called the Kraft durch Freudwagen, or Strength Through Joy car. In the 1930s, the Nazi Party promised every German family an affordable, practical car. The plan was ingenious. Citizens would buy special stamps each week and paste them into a savings booklet. Once the book was full, they'd get their car. Hundreds of thousands of families participated, pouring their life savings into the program. But not a single car was ever delivered to a citizen. The money, equivalent to billions today, was rerouted to fund Hitler's war machine. The ultimate automotive lie, where the promise of a people's car was used to fund a world war. So from government plots to hypercar myths, the car world has seen its share of lies. Which one do you think was the most outrageous? Let me know in the comments. And if you want to see more automotive truths, make sure you're subscribed. See you in the next one.